समारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमां अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तं पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौरवं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं चास्तामकं च शिष्यं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यस्मद्गुरुं सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। यत्साक्षात् सच्चिदानन्दं प्रत्यगद्वयं प्रियं तन्नमामि विश्लेष्य योगिगम्यं परं पदम् आनिलाग्नोत्तरीक्षन्तं सर्पणियोद्गतं यथा ध्यान्तच्छिदे नमस्तस्मै हृदये विद्युसाक्षिणे। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। Sakshittvam. So the 76th verse said, Dukhi yadi bhavedatma gas sakshi dukhino bhavet dukhina sakshita yukta sakshino dukhita tatha. So dukkhamasya asti iti dukhi. So if I consider that I have dukkha, then I'll be dukhi. Then how will I know that I am dukhi? To know that I am dukhi, I'll need some other I. But without some other I know that I am dukhi. Therefore, I am not having dukkha. Dukkha is in antakarana, and I know the antakarana which has dukkha. Dukkha is upalakshana here. So, yadi atma, the real pratyekatma, yadi dukhi bhavet, then dukkhinaha mama va sakshi bhavet. Kopi na bhavet. But anyatha upapatti, arthapatti pramana says that my anubhava shows pratyaksha, my dukkha is pratyaksha to me. Therefore, you have to agree that dukkha is not my dharma. Dukkha is pratyaksha to me, and the dukkhitva is also pratyaksha to me. That dukkhitva has to be elsewhere, not in me. Thereby, I being sakshi, that is clear to me. I am knowing the dukkha, dukkhi all by myself. Therefore, I am sakshi. If I am sakshi, then I have sakshita dharma, and therefore dukhitvam and sakshitvam, sakshita, dukkhita cannot be together because I know dukkhita. So I am sakshi of that dukkhita, therefore dukkhina sakshita ayukta. Sakshi and dukhi cannot be together. And sakshina dukkhita tatha ayukta. Similarly, what? Sakshi cannot have dukkhita, dukkhitvam, and dukhi cannot have sakshita, sakshitvam. Thereby, I am very sure that I am sakshi, because if I am dukhi, then I have to be always be dukhi. But I am sakshi all the time. If I am sakshi all the time, meaning I know everything all the time, at least that I have to agree. I know all the emotions which are varying. Therefore, I have to be sakshi. If I am sakshi, I cannot be dukhi. This has been shown in 76th verse. Further, in the 77th introduction, dukkhina sakshitvam kathama yuktam. Purva Pakshi asks, how do you make this tall claim that dukhi and sakshi cannot go together? I am sakshi, all right, I agree with you. But my anubhava is I am also dukhi. That is also my own anubhava. Nobody needs to tell me that I am dukhi. Thereby, kathama yuktam, how do you say it is illogical that dukhi and sakshi cannot go together? I mean, dukhitvam and sakshitvam dharma cannot be together in me. I cannot be dukhi and sakshi at the same time. Iti akamshayam tatra hetuhu uchyate iti aha purvasya iti. So hetu uchyate gives the reasoning why Sambandhokti says purvasya vyakhyanaartham aha. There is a elaboration of the earlier श्लोक itself. पूर्वस्य श्लोकस्य एव व्याख्यानार्थं व्याख्यानार्थं meaning as a commentary on that, as a gloss over that. The next verse is being mentioned here, 77th. नर्ते स्याद् विक्रियां दुःखी साक्षिता का विकारिणः जीविक्रिया सहस्राणां साक्ष्यतोऽहम् अविक्रियः. साक्ष्यतोऽहम् अविक्रियः. Aham sakshi, ataha avikriyaha. So in this, what is being done? It is being shown I am sakshi. In the earlier verse, it has already been established I am sakshi. Here, that is used as a hetu. Because I am sakshi, therefore I am avikriya. Earlier, sakshi does not go any vikriya was a claim made. Purvapakshi questioned that. So the main criteria is to show that I am not having any changes. And then Sakshi, I am Sakshi has been established. Now the Purvapakshi asks, how do you say that Dukhi and Sakshi cannot go together? Because Dukhi, to be Dukhi, you have to have Dukhitva dharma in yourself, and Dukha producing Dukhya Janaka Vishaya should have Sambandha. You should have Sambandha with that Vishaya. And when you have Sambandha as a Pramata, then you have Kriya going on. Thereby you will become Vikriya, not Avikriya. So Siddhanti is showing that if you are Dukhi, you agree that you are Sakshi, but you are claiming that you can be Dukhi also. If you are Dukhi, then you cannot be Sakshi. That is being questioned now. So because you are Sakshi, you have to be Avikriya also. So here it says, Narte Syad Vikriyam Dukhi. In fact, sorry, the other way around. I am saying the Avikriya has been shown. I made a mistake there. Avikriyatvam has been shown. Without Vikriya, you cannot have Dukkha. And you are agreeing that you are Sakshi. If you are Sakshi, then you cannot have Vikara. That has already been established. I'm sorry. Vikara, I don't have Vikara, therefore I am Sakshi, has been established. Why don't I have Vikara? If you recollect the Sandarbha, who will have Vikara and who will not have Vikara? The Hetu used for that is when something is known simultaneously, not something, everything is known simultaneously, then you don't need any Kriya, Vikriya. You know everything simultaneously as Atma. But Buddhi does not know everything simultaneously. Buddhi has to configure itself for a particular Vishaya with particular Akara Vritti, Vishakara Vritti. Then Vishaya changes, then another Vishaya Akara Vritti. This Vritti Akara is a Kriya. Akara is Akruti. Akruti is Kriyajanya. Therefore, because you know everything simultaneously, Yugapat, Atma, therefore, Avikriya. This has been established. Then the second step is Avikriya. Now, Sakshi also. Sakshi, because you know everything, that is not a Pramata. Pramata knows Vishaya one at a time. Therefore, undergoes Vikriya. Sakshi does not undergo Vikriya. So, other way also true. Because Sakshi, therefore, Avikriya. Now he says, Narte Vikriya Padacheda Na Rute Syat Vikriyam Dukhi Sakshita Ka Vikarinaha Jivikriya Sahasranam. Single word. Sakshi Ataha Aham Avikriyaha. There's a tippan on this. You'll see that. So Purvasya Vyakhyanartham. What was the earlier this thing, the establishing what? Dukhi adi bhavedatma ka sakshi dukhino bhaved. Dukhina sakshita yukta sakshina dukhita tata. So it has been refuted that sakshitvam and dukhitvam can go together. Dukhitvam means upalakshana. Any dharma which is Vishaya dharma really, that cannot be in you. Vishaya cannot be its own sakshi. All that has gone by. Now, in the Tvampadartha, the Prakriya is Tvampadartha Shodhana here. What is going on is Tvampada. You have to know what is Tvampada really. I am not undergoing any Vikriya. So Vikriyam Rute. Rute without. Without what? Vikriya. Without any changes. Vikriyam Rute न दुखी स्यात्. न दुखी स्यात्. कहापि any entity to become dukhi, there has to be a change. Without change, you cannot be dukhi. Do you agree? Ask the Siddhanti to the Purva Pakshi. He has to agree. Then we have already told you, vikarina ka sakshita. Ka sakshita sambhavati vikarina. If you are dukhi, then you cannot be sakshi. That's what we are saying. Because if you are vikari, then you are part of the conglomerate. Whatever is undergoing change, you are part of that. Samhata. Everything put together, whatever is put together in parts, that can undergo configuration change and have some kriya, vikriya, or through vikriya can have some configuration change. Or that configuration change itself is called as vikriya. Akruti, vikruti, vikara, thereby vikari. But then undergoing change, how do you know? How do you know that something has changed? Meaning what? Sakshi, being Sakshi, how does this Sakshitvam come in? Sakshitvam, knowing two things which are, knowing two things which appear to be same also, but different also. How do you know? Some parts are different, some are same. Soyam Devadatta. Right? So Pratyabhijna shows you that the one who knows change is different from the changing. Soyam Devadatta, you know that Soyam Devadatta is an example for Pratyabhijna. But here, Balavasthayam api ahameva asan. Adya api ahameva asmi. Then tomorrow, shvaha api ahameva bhavishyami. That ahameva, I know this, I have this Pratyabhijna. So Soyam Devata is an example for Pratyabhijna. But in my case, in the changing body, like Devadatta's, there is a single unchanging entity, that is me. Here in this case, it is me. There it is Devadatta Atma. Devadatta Swarupa. Here in my example, in the exemplified, my Sharira is changing, Antakarana is changing, Vrittis are changing, Buddhi taking Vrityakara, but I know all this. I have to be separate from this as an unchanging entity. Unchanging and unchangeable also. Why? Sakshitvat hetoho. I am a Sakshi. So, Vikarena Sakshita naiva sambhavati. Thereby what? Jivikriya sahasranam Sakshi. Aham Sakshi yataha. Ataha aham avikriya. Because I am Sakshi, I am avikari. Avikriya or avikari. So this is the Anvaya would be what? So first a statement of fact which will be used as a hetu. Vikriyam rite kopi, you can say. Kopi dukhi nasyat. Right? Then vikarinaha sakshita ka bhavati. Aksheparthi kim. Jivikriya sahasranam aham sakshi asmi ataha aham avikriya asmi. So this is an elaboration. Why did I talk about Sakshi? Sakshitvam and Dukkhitvam cannot go together has been a claim made by Siddhanti in 76th verse. In the 77th, with the elaboration of that, the resultant is what? I am avikriya. That avikriyatvam has already been established earlier. So here there's a tippana. What does it say? Sarva vikara sakshi atma avikriya eva. Pratijna. Sarva vikara sakshi atma avikriya eva. If you say avikriya, my question is not about avikriya, says the Purva Pakshi. My question is about dukhi. Can I not be dukhi while being sakshi? That is my question. You said it is impossible. Siddhanti says what? Sarva vikara sakshi atma, meaning sakshi atma, you agreed. You said cannot be dukhi. I am saying cannot. You said why can't it be that sakshi? Why can't I sakshi be dukhi also? And my answer is that atma avikriya eva. How does that answer Purva Pakshi's question? Dukhi is vikari. That is what is answered. Dukhi is vikari. Vikriyaha, not avikriya. That is the first line here. Rute, vikriya, vikriyam rute, dukhi kopi na syat. Na dukhi syat. Therefore, what? If I say Atma is avikari, then what? Cannot be dukhi. Avikari, sakshi has to be avikari. You say that, you agree that Atma is sakshi. If Atma is sakshi, has to be avikari. That has been established earlier. Now it is being connected. Therefore, cannot be dukhi. Because dukhitvam is vikara. Dukhitvam is agantuka vikriya. Therefore, that change cannot be there in sakshi. Any change. Dukhitvam is upalakshana. I am including everything. Siddhanta says on a broader scale, I'll refute it. I don't have to. Now, today you say cannot be dukhi. Tomorrow you will ask me, okay, what about kami? What about lobhi? What about mohi? I can't be answering each and every question to fill, make 10 more chapters. Siddhanti says avikriya means cannot be dukhi. That is the whole idea. So here he says, sarva vikara sakshi atma avikriya eva ataheva dukhi na bhavati ityartha. So sa eva aham brahma ityadau ahamadi padalakshartha it bhava. Why dukhitva has been specifically mentioned? Because samsara, people don't have really issue with kama and lobha, moha. They don't have issue. If you look at it, that's why Tarkika also defines sukha and dukha very differently to other attributes, other emotions. See, everything is for the purpose of sukha, right? And why is this pursuit of moksha? What is it? It is pursuit of sukha. And when you say pursuit of sukha, it is pursuit of sukha only. What does that mean? Nobody is pursuing dukkha. Everybody, while pursuing sukha, is also pursuing the cessation of dukkha. Cessation of dukkha. That's why moksha definition for Vedanti is what? Atyantika dukkha nivritti and niratishaya sukha praptischa. Not only dukkha nivritti, not only sukha prapti, both. And actually both are what? Both are one. Both are one and the same. Because Atma is Ananda Swarupa, cannot have dukkha. So now here why dukkhitvam is mentioned? Because just like every pursuit is for the sukha, similarly what? All these to be shunned dharmas like kama, lobha, moha, ityadi, all that which does not seem to be a problem. But when I have kama and do not get the kamya vastu, then I have dukkha. When I have lobha, I don't get the lobhya vastu, I have dukkha. When I have moha and I don't have the jnana regarding that, with that moha delusion, I don't understand the muhyamana aham and the mohya vastu also as to what is it real this thing. Then I have dukkha. In fact, not knowing that I have moha also leads to dukkha really. So Arjuna had shoka moha all right, but they are dependent, interdependent. They are tied together. You cannot have shoka without moha. So moha is the hetu for shoka. Similarly, kama, lobha, moha ityadi lead to what? Lead to dukkha. Just like everything is for the purpose of sukha. Similarly, avoidance of everything is also really avoidance of dukkha. I don't like dukkha. Puja Swamiji used to say, I want the pleased me. Meaning the I that I like what kind of, they say I don't like myself like this. So how do you like yourself? I like the pleased me. Pleased aham. I don't like the unpleased me. I don't like when I get into this kind of a mood, whatever, helplessly you get in there, but don't like that. Why? Causes dukkha. Why do you like the other, not schizophrenic, but we keep on changing based on the mood. So I don't like that. I like this kind of me. I would like to be this kind of me all the time without losing anything again. So Swarupa. So here, Saiva Aham Brahma, Kim Rupam Brahma. Kim Rupam Brahma, Ananda Rupa Brahma. So that Ananda Rupam Brahma, Saiva Aham. Therefore, in the Vakya Aham Brahmasmi, Saiva Aham Brahma, Ityadu Ahamadi Pada Lakshartha iti bhava. Not to this appearing dukhi kind of a person. They pleased me. Not the pleased me in the sense one who goes through gradations. In the Ananda Mimamsa of Taittiriya and also in Brihadaranyaka. Brihad has everything but Taittiriya. Taittiriya Upanishadi, that Ananda Mimamsa. Very beautiful. Ananda Mimamsa. But all, just, it's not exact calculation. To understand, how various upadhis give various possibilities of sukha. But that's the Seema. You cannot go higher than that. Highest would be what? Hiranyagarbha. Starting with Manushyananda. Saeka Manushyananda. Then, again, every time there is a refrain. One who has no kama itya. Shrotriyasya cha mahatasya. Shrotriyasya cha akamahatasya. Kamena ya na hataha. Tasya shrotriyasya. He will also get what? 10x sukha if one does not want sukha in this upadhi. Otherwise, do karma, upasana, get the higher upadhi in the next janma. Next janma in sense, after the drop of this body in another loka, get 10x sukha, still laukika. Then, if you have vairagya there, in that also, you will get 10x sukha in the same upadhi. So either you get these 10x sukha in the same upadhi with vairagya of the ananda of this very upadhi. Meaning, there is a theoretical limit mentioned. Like just, when you ask some vehicle, how much mileage will it give you, or how much does it, whatever, battery last, whatever, anything, car, whatever it is. What ideal factory conditions? All ideal factory conditions. There are no ideal factory conditions outside the factory settings. You won't never ever get that. And the Upanishad's ideal factory setting is what? One Manushyananda is yuva syat, sadhu yuva, should be yuva, should be sadhu yuva, should be healthy, should be all of the shotriya ityadi. And if he has entire resources of the entire prapancha, entire earth, he is a king of that, emperor of the entire world. What kind of resources will he have for sukha because we want sukha through resources. So if resources are not aplenty, they are limitless to the extreme of the Prithvi resource. The entire Prithvi is yours. What can you not have? But what can you not have means you keep on consuming, become a couch potato, French fries all the day. I would like French fries. Kid will say, I like French fries. Even the emperor likes something. If I make it, what will you do if you become an emperor? I'll eat French fries for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Kids. But not like that. He knows what is healthy, what is not. So all these conditions apply. If there is such a person you can imagine, then what will be his one unit of Ananda? That is defined by Taittiriya Upanishads. Sayeka Manusha Ananda. Manusha Ananda will be that. impossible to attain in this upadhi. But if at all you can attain, that is the limit in this. If you have vairagya for that, then you will have 10x of that sukha, which is also attainable in another upadhi through karma upasana. And so on it goes, 10x, 10x, 10x. So you what raised to the power of 10, 20, whatever. There's some calculation. Finally, you will have Hiranyagarma Padvi. And what does it say? That is also Laukika Ananda. Brahma Ananda is something else. So all of these, and in Ananda Mimamsa, you also have what? Priya Moda Pramoda. So gradations there also. In each Vishaya, how do I get Sukha? What is the Vedanta Prakriya for Sukha? When I have desire for something, that vastu, that is Priya. Even the thought of that, that day was really good. Whatever, it's simple to understand example is, I had this particular dish. It was very tasty. You recollect that, Priya. Oh, do you like it? Oh, I like it. Then I'll cook it for you. Really? Oh, it's a possibility. Then more the level of Ananda a little higher. Then you get the dish. Cooked, served, tasted, Pramoda. Become one with Swarupa, meaning what is becoming one with Swarupa? As though. So you do not have that desire, that particular desire, taking one at a time, not simultaneously. We have so many desires, but taking one particular desire of that Vishaya, Kamya Vishaya, I have attained that, thereby while eating that I don't have that desire, that has dropped. So that desire which was taking me away from my Swarupa, because my mind was wanting, I become a wanting person, not a pleased person. So that wanting me is dukkha karaka. Why? Because that wanting me with that vritti of the, oh, I need this, I want this, that has taken me away from my Swarupa. When that desire is met, it drops off. We have seen this in Vichara Sagara. There are two ways. One is that itself is bringing Ananda. Second is that vritti, dukkha, that Vishayakara vritti drops and it gives rise to Brahmakara vritti. Actually, Swarupa Ananda. So it is Swarupa Ananda, but a glimpse of that. Why only a glimpse? Because other desires are still there. Other desires are still there. So those are still in the background. They are going on. Because Ajnana is there. So here when you say Saheva Aham Brahma, Ityado Aham Adi Pada Lakshartha. Adi has been used. So we have to say in the other Mahavakyas. Tvam Pada Lakshartha, Aham Pada Lakshartha, Aham Adi, Aham Tvam Pada Lakshartha. That is the Swarupa. What moda you get, Priya, Moda, Pramoda, that all these three are, as though that Ananda, Swarupa Ananda is leaking into the Antakarana and superimposed as the source being Vishaya. That Ananda is not in Vishaya. It is in me. It is my Swarupa. It somehow leaks as Priya, Moda, Pramoda, and I wrongly attribute it to the favor of the Vishaya, in the favor of the Vishaya. Thereby the Vachyartha, the Tvam Dukhi, is with Tadatmya Sambandha with Antakarnadi, and Lakshartha is Ananda Swarupa. That is Avikriyatma. Sarva Vikara Sakshi Pratyagatma Kutastha Avikriya Pratyagatma Paramatma really. And what is Aham there? Ahankara Upalakshita. That Aham is Ahankara Upalakshita. There is a unholy Mishrana of Anatma Ahankaradi with the Swarupatma, as though, therefore, with the Lakshana, I have to land on the Lakshartha, therefore, Ahankara Upalakshita Atma Aham. Finally, you have to land on Atma. So, all this Tvapada Shodhana started with the question as to Purvapakshi asking in Aham Brahmasmi, how will it work if Aham is not in the meaning of Pratyagatma, but in the meaning of Ahankara? Siddhanti said Aham means Ahankara, Chaitanya Sahita Ahankara, with the Pratibimba. So all three. And slowly you can land on the Lakshartha by removing the Ahankara as Mithya, Sambandha as Mithya, Pratibimba as Pratibimba, if you say Pratibimba, Pratibimba is nothing but Chaitanya, Bimba. If you say Abhasa, Chaitanya Abhasa, then you say Chaitanya Abhasa is Mithya, Abhasa being Mithya, and then you land on the real Bimba, Swarupa. So Ahankara Upalakshita. So what is this Dukkhitvam? Siddhanti says, your question was about Dukkhitvam, but I am giving you a generic answer. Dukkhitvam nama vikaritvam only. Dukkha is a vikara. So when you say Dukkhitvam is there, therefore I am Dukkhi. Siddhanti says, if you have Dukkhitvam, because you think you are Dukkhi, then you will have Vikaritvam also, you will become Vikari. If you are Vikari, you cannot be Sakshi. But you are Sakshi, Anyatha Anupatya. Because you are Sakshi, that Dukkhitvam is Bhranti. Because you'll have to have Vikaritvam. You will have to undergo change. If you undergo change, you cannot be witness, but you are witness, therefore you cannot be undergoing change. If you cannot be undergoing change, then you cannot have any change, including Dukkhitvam. Therefore, you cannot be Dukhi and Sakshi simultaneously. You are Sakshi Matra, you cannot be Dukhi. Vikarina Sakshitvam Anupapannam. You agree you are Sakshi, but Anyatha Anupapatya, Vikaritvam na sambhavati. You are a Vikari. If you are a Vikari, then you cannot be Sakshi, but you are a Sakshi. You cannot be Vikari, therefore cannot be Dukhi. Atma eva tu samasta buddhi vritti sakshi. All buddhi sakshi you are. You know all your emotions. You know whether you understood or not understood. You know whether you have felt, whether you fell asleep also. While listening, gets boring class, doze off. You know you dozed off. Even, while dozing off also, you want to open your eyes, it's okay, I can't take that much of effort. Anubhava Siddha. So Samasta Buddhi Vritti Sakshi, including whatever emotions, all what Vikaritvam, all those are Vikarit. Ataha Nirasta Samasta Parinamaha iti bhava. Therefore, because I am a Vikari, thereby what does it mean? Parinamas, any Parinama. So Samasta, all Parinamas, each and every Parinama has to be refuted. It is not in me. I am Nirasta Samasta Parinama. Iti bhavaha. This is the first tippana. Further what? So that is 77th verse. 78th introduction says, Na kevalam yukti matra siddhameva tat. Don't think that I am using only tarka. The reason I am using tarka, says the Siddhanti, is because you are using tarka. I know the reason. This is to the Purva Pakshi. Who is the Purva Pakshi really? I am the Purva Pakshi. Siddhanti Sadhaka is the Purva Pakshi. So Sadhaka also is a Purva Pakshi only. So to benefit ourselves, what do we say? I use Tarka because I am using Buddhi. I am questioning with the Buddhi. My answer cannot be Shastra saying that, oh, you don't have Shraddha. Like in other religions, no, you don't have faith. We don't care for faith beyond a certain limit. Yes, Shraddhavan labate jnanam, but Shraddha is not that blind faith there. Honestly, faith has to be blind only. Faith cannot be questioning faith. So here, that's why we say what? Trust. You trust initially, because without trust, you cannot start off your journey. An infant, if he does not trust the infant, does not trust the mother, how will the infant survive? Infant cannot survive without the trust. Trust is the nature has put, embedded that quality since birth itself. So Bhagavati has presented herself in the form of the mother. Without that, the infant cannot survive mother's milk. So has to have trust that this is good for me. That is instinctual. That instinct is what? It is all trust. It's there, embedded. Then you grow up and then sanskaras may come up or have experiences whereby you start doubting everyone. But otherwise also some trust is there. Like asking a route. We have seen this example, asking a map in the absence of your Google Maps. So asking a route to someone. So trust is inherent initially. So therefore, Shraddhavan Lavate Jnanam, all right. But in Vedanta, Manana Siddha, it has to be inquired into. If there is complete Shraddha, no questions come up in the Buddhi, then we have no issues. That is an Uttamottam Adhikari. But we don't have such adhikaris even in Upanishad. Very rarely you will see someone, with Shravana itself had mukti in the Garbhavasa like Shukamuni Jadi, Vamadeva. Here, though, we have to inquire into it, but to start the journey, you have to accept, you try it out. Methodology is meant to be tried out. Not this methodology, you use something else. So some other prakriya. But trust has to be the basis there, and then it has to be inquired into. If my buddhi brings questions, I cannot tell it, Shastra says so. That is not an answer. So Siddha, Shastra says so is a pramana. But because Shastra says so, is not a tarka at all. There you have to inquire. So therefore, some buddhi questions have to be answered. Because Shastra says so, that is complete Shraddha. To reach their very lofty goal, we have to grow up to that level with the inquiry from the buddhi, questions from the buddhi being answered. That is manana. So here, Siddhanti says, na keval yukti matra siddham eva tat. You need yukti, I have to give yukti. My buddhi needs yukti, I have to give yukti. But he says, finally, it has to culminate into anubhava also. Shraddha, start with Shraddha, use yukti, then verify with the Shastra that your yukti is correct. So this will be what? Shastra anugrihita tarka. Then when it becomes anubhava, you drop both. No yukti will serve that jnani, vidwan. No Shastra is needed. Vedo avedo bhavati. Veda is a tool. You will not carry the tool there also. Shraddha had always gone. All Shraddha is what? Finally, again, Shraddha is dharma, guna. I am nirguna atma. Beyond that, that's the sima. Beyond that, yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa. So what will work? Nothing will work. There is no second there. Shraddha will be a second thing, whatever it is. Dharma, there cannot be no second, no dharma separate from the real I. Therefore, Siddhanti says, Kintu vidusham anubhava siddham chayetat iti aha evamiti. Pramana, 6 pramanas. Where is this anubhava pramana? Siddhanti says, vidusham anubhava siddham means it is prama, no pramana there. But vidvat anubhava is pramana because it is quoted someone else. For me, when it becomes my anubhava, it is prama. Till then, that's why we say, oh, Guruji says so. My Guru says so, my Acharya says so. Asmarat Acharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Paramparam. So, Evamiti, saying that not only, so Siddhanti says, you will get there. Whether Sadhaka or Purvapakshi, you hold on to this, you will get there. Here, the target can be the Madhyastha also. The Madhyastha who is sitting there who says, whom do I trust? You trust the Shastra, you trust the Vedanta Darshana, you walk the path. Walk the path means what? Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Then, Vidvat Anubhava shows Pramana that Vidwan was someone else. Now you are the Vidwan. When you are the Vidwan, you don't no longer think yourself as Vidwan also. You think yourself as Brahma. You are Brahma, Anubhava Siddha, Anubhuti, Sakshatkara, however you have. Then, no questions are there. No questions are there. No questions are there means no questions come up also. Someone asks you some doubts and they are convinced, you don't get confused. That is the state of the jnani. So here he says, Evam sarvasmin in the sambandhokti. Evam sarvasmin vyabhicharini atma vastu eva avyabhichari iti anubhavataha vyavasthapanaya. To establish that it is all, this Vyavastha or the Shastra, the way everything has come together, you are unable to see now. But you will see. You hold on to the thread. When everything is changing, you who are unchanging, the unchanging I, is Anubhava Siddha. In the face of everything that is changing, Sarvasmin Vyabhicharini, in the face of everything that is changing, including you think that dukkha being there, that is changing. You are not that. Atma vastu eva. Atma vastu eva, the vastu vasati iti vastu. That I really exist, Finally, I'll reach there. But right now, Atma is one of the vastus which is unchanging. That real I is the only vastu. That is where you have to reach. So, आत्मवस्तु एव अव्यभिचारी इति अनुभवत व्यवस्थापनाय विद्वान अनुभव. So अनुभवत व्यवस्थापनाय, the Granthakara is making a claim. He is not using somebody else's anubhava. Somebody else's anubhava is of no use to you. Yes, we have phrases, learn from my experiences. I can learn from your mistakes by watching over when it is my experience. Your your mistake is my experience. It is not your experience. So when you look up on somebody else's mistakes, when he says, learn from my mistakes, so you have an experience of seeing his mistakes. Or he has to give you some idea about how he made such mistakes. But you cannot have anubhava, his anubhava. You have to have your own anubhava. So here, anubhavata vyavasthapana is, so Siddhanti is making a claim, vidvad anubhava, my anubhava. Not a pramana. Not a pramana. But if you have Shraddha, you have to use it as pramana. Because it is all Tarka Siddha, which is a pramana, Anumana, has a basis in Shruti, which is a Shabda pramana, but it will become Pratyaksha to you. That is, Pratyaksha is a pramana. Anubhav Siddha is Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha Siddha. Pramana Tannibheshwasya Nuchittirimama Samvidaha Mattonyadrupama Bhati Yattat Syat Kshanabhangihi. So, Pramana Tannibheshu, one word. Asyaha, asyaha, na uchchitihi, mama, samvidaha. Samvit is a strilinga. Therefore, asyaha, samvida, mama. Asya, mama, samvida. This samvid of mine, Rahoshirvat Shashti, the samvit means Chaitanya. So, this Chaitanya of mine, meaning my Swarupa, I am that Chaitanya. This Chaitanya of mine means I am that Chaitanya, this very Chaitanya. And then for what further? Padachida mattaha anyat rupam abhati yat tat syat shanabhangi hi. So asyaha mama samvidaha pramanatan nibheshu uchchittihi na. Na means nasti. Uchchitti nasti. Siddhanti says, whatever these pramanas are, or what? Tan nibha. Tan nibha means pramana nibha. Pramana sadrusha. Pramana abhasa ityartha. So whatever is pramana to you, or you in the sense, from the analysis perspective, me, analysis perspective. For me, whatever are pramanas, or what appear as pramanas, means what? Brahma. What lead to Brahma, rather. So pramana abhasa appears like pramana, it's not pramana. And pramana also, both. So whether it is leading to prama or brahma, whatever appears as pramana, or there is a semblance of pramana, semblance, appearance, that this is a valid means of knowledge. So whether it is valid or appears to be valid, with respect to them, asya mama samvida, because for the pramana vyapara to work, if you recollect what was the shloka there saying, earlier we have seen, all the pramana vyaparas are also there only when I am there. Without me, no pramana. Pramana is for a pramata. Only when I am there, then alone. For me, alone the pramana is working. Everything is for me. Tasya siddhanam Ishavasya Upanishad says everything is yours. Everything is really yours. Ishavasya vidam sarva, and then Shruti will say, you are that Isha. So, how can you be a wanting person at all? I want this. It is all yours only. You cannot want what you already have. You can want more. Yes, you can always want more. I already have it, but I want more. But that more, that is a part which you don't have. So if I have money, I want more money. Do you have money? You have money. Why do you want money? No, I want more money. So when I want more money, that more factor, I have X, I want X plus. That X plus is something I don't have. So it is not you are wanting something you already have. You always want something that you don't have. But Ishavasya Vidam Sarvam, you are everything. If you are everything, how can you want everything plus something? There is no everything plus. So here, pramanatannibeshwasya mama samvida uchita nasti. Only when I am there, everything is there. So even when everything is there, appears to be pramana also, there is no change in me. Mama uchiti nasti, vikara nasti, uchiti nasti. I am always going to be there as Sakshi. Then, matta anyat, yat matta anyat rupam abhati. There is pramana, there is semblance of pramana, abhasa, nibha, abhasa of pramana. And then there is pramana is for pramata to connect to a prameya. That prameya is separate from me. So matta, other than me, anyad yad rupam abhati. Whatever prameya seems to be there different from me, tatkshanabhangi hi syat. Tadhi kshanabhangi syat. Other than me, whatever is there, I am there. Mama uchiti nasti samvida means what? I am nitya. When I am nitya, then anything other than me, including what that dukkitva ityadi, which has come up from ahankara, the buddhi, what started as 71st to 75th verse in this context, what we saw in the last part. So all that ending with what 75th verse here, where the set of pairs which you have given, nirapeksha sapeksham parachim pratyagadvaya pashyati. Pashyami aham pashyami really. Sarvavikaram nirakaraha aham atma pashyami. Pashyati has been mentioned there, but I have to convert it for my benefit. I don't care whether someone else sees, does not see. My swartha is, tvam padartha is aham there. There is no Prathama Purusha, Madhyama Purusha. That statement has been told to me. When it said Tvam, Tattvamasi, I know that I here is that Aham Tatasmi. When someone says you, I shouldn't be parroting that, oh, you are Brahma. Puja Swami used to say, people don't understand this prakriya. Says Tattvamasi. In an accent he would say, Tattvamasi. What they don't know Padacheda also, let alone the meaning. Then what is that tat also they don't know. They'll say you are Tattvamasi. What is you are Tattvamasi? So you are Tattvamasi. So Puja Swami says that tat, when the Guru taught the Shishya, Tattvamasi. So what does Shishya say? Yes, Tattvamasi. He told Guru also you are Brahma. He does not care, he does not understand I am Brahma. So when in any language, when you are mentioned, I have automatically converted to me. How this language works is, it's absolutely mind-boggling. As a child, the sentence has the word you, but I here is as I. You are a fool. So if somebody says you are a fool, and I hear it as you are a fool, I have absolutely no problem. I am not insulted at all. But I hear as what? I am a fool. How can he call me a fool? Why did you say I am a fool? He did not say I am a fool. He says you are a fool. So how this language works, you have to convert that you. Tom is converted into aham when it is heard. Simultaneously it happens. How it happens? Bhagavan knows. Every language. Now here fun. That's why aham adi. Adi is that Tom, whatever you say, finally you have to convert into your swartha aham. So here, further. So matta annad yad rupam abhati. In the 71st to 75th verse, I pashyati aham pashyami. Whatever I see, what do I see? Separate from me. Yatkinchidapi. Jagatyam jagat. Again, Isha was Jagatyam. Anything that is there in the world, what do I see? Separate from Virupam Abhati. Tat Kshanabhangi hi sya. Tadhi Kshanabhangi sya. It is that which is Kshanabhangi means, I mentioned in the earlier part, Kshanabhangi, Kshanabhangura, Kshananashta, Agantuka, all of these are what? Momentary. And Shunyavadi is sitting there. He says, whom should we give dosha? If the tarka works, we should accept it. What tarka? That Jugapat, you cannot be Sakshi and Sakshya. You cannot be Drashta and Drishya at the same time. So if you are that, if you are a Drashta, then you will always be a Drashta, then there won't be any Drishya. So Drishya Rahita Drashta you will be. That is not possible. If you are Drishya, then you cannot be Drashta. So there will be Drishya without Drashta. Then who will be the witness? So in all cases, moksha will be impossible. This is a Siddhanti's perspective. But suddenly, Shunyavadi heard this. Won't be there, won't be there. He jumped in Shunya. He says, yes, Tarka works. So you agree. Dispose of all Vedanta and come to Buddhism. Zen, you are free from everything. You are free from everything and you are free from yourself also. That you is Aham. Finally, as we saw, I am free from myself. I am not there. Biggest flaw of all. No Tarkika has ever landed on I am not there. But Shunyavadis managed somehow. So here he says that Kshanabhangura, their entire Kshanika Vijnanavada, Kshana, now there, now not there. Now there, now not there is someone else. Pratyabhijna is working, I am there as a witness. So he says, Kshanabhangi hi matta anyat sarva. Aham shang Kshanabhangi kadapi na bhavami. I am not Kshanabhangi, I am Nitya. I am the one who knows that everything other than me comes and goes. Kshanabhangi matta anyat. Yadrupam abhati. Tat sarvam Kshanabhangi. So there are second and third tippana there. Mama Samvida. What is Mama Samvida? He says Mad Abhinna. Mad Abhinna is what? Avedarte Shashti there. So Rao Shirovat Shashti. Mad Abhinna Samvit Lakshana Kutastha Nitya Sakshi Swarupa Chidatmanaha iti Sararthakara. So I had mentioned last time, you read, those who don't have Sanskrit, Sanskara reading. So read with or without Padacheda, try to read every day. Try to Bhashya, definite Gita Bhashya, keep on reading Gita Bhashya, one para a day, few lines every day as a part of your puja. Then only, the language also opens up, Bhashya also opens up, Siddhanta also opens up. Because reading Sanskrita will give punya, samyak krutam, samyaktvam kim punyatvam ityartha. Only language. There is no other language which gives punya, only Sanskrita. In fact, every other language should be shunned. We saw in Vichar Sagar at the end. Study in every other language, including this English part, should be shunned. You should hear in Sanskrita. When you read, Sanskrita should be there. All these are helping tools. Finally, Sanskrita is punya karaka. So, Madhabhinna Samvit. So, Bhashya, if you are more comfortable with Bhashya, then do Tika also. You will find very nice, long, 1.5 line samasas. 1.5, 2 lines. I think in Muktavali, I think I've seen 2.5 line samasa. So that's when you give up the part. He says, enough tarka. This much is sufficient. Time to close the book. Do away with this. Enough study. Lifetime achievement. You give yourself lifetime achievement award and go away. So here, samasa, you start with this, like Madhabhinna Samvil Lakshana Kutastha Nitya Sakshi Swarupa Chidatmanaha. Then it's all samasas if you are interested. At least, first you have to be able to utter. So, Madhabhinna. Mama Samvida, but Mama is not Sambandhe Shashti. Rao Shiravat Shashti. So, Aham, Madhabhinna is Samvit. That is me. Madhabhinna Samvit means Samvit Aham. That Aham Samvit. Samvit, Madhabhinna Samvit Vilakshana. Samvit Lakshana, not Vilakshana. Madhabhinna Samvit Lakshana. Samvit Lakshana, Samvit, that Chaitanya is the Lakshana, Swarupa, Gauri. Who is that? Kutastha. So one that samvit lakshana, who is called as samvit, consciousness, characterized by consciousness, non-different from me, that kind of kutastha, who is nitya, sakshi swarupa, sakshi and swarupa chit, chaitanya. So samvit is what? Swarupa chit finally. That's what samvit means, what? Chaitanya, which is nitya, sakshi rupa, kutastha. Kutastha also nitya also. To remove nitya means not apekshika nityatvam. Therefore kutastha nityatvam. It is haratka. That is the meaning of mama samvida. Samvida, mama samvida, shashti. Samvida is also shashti. Samanadikada, mama samvida. उच्छेद साक्षित्वेन स्फुरणात् न मम उच्छेद इति चंद्रिकाकार. तो सारार्थकार चंद्रिकाकार. Different टीकाकारास give this meaning. Very nice. What is this uchchedah nasti or uchchitti? Uchchitti, uchcheda, same meaning. One is strilinga, other is pullinga. One is tin pratyanta, uchchitti, other is gai pratyanta. So here, gai or equivalent, achityadi. So here, everything is undergoing uchcheda, agantuka, comes and goes. Kshanabhangura. So because I know everything is kshanabhangura, uchcheda sakshi, I am a uchcheda sakshi. Everything is uprooted in, if by nothing, by kala. You don't need someone else to come and destroy. Kala, time heals, they say, but time destroys also. Kala, mrityu. So here, I know there is an uchcheda of each and everything. And since I know vikara, uchcheda of everything. Therefore, sakshitvena spuranat kasya mamaev aham spurami sakshitvena spurami ataha mama me samvidaha uchchedaha nasti na sambhavati ityartha. What is shanabhangi anityam? Drashtavya shloka also, it is going to come up. 80th and 86 we will see. 80th and 86 it will come up. Nothing to go ahead and look at. What is Shanabhangi? I already mentioned Shanabhangura. It has come up. The idea has come up. Kshanika Vijnanavada, Vadis Paksha, leading to Shunyatva, of course. Because between two Kshanas, what remains is Shunya. Bauddha Darshana, there are 4 types of Buddhists. But Shunyavada is the main Paksha. Those who do not understand Shunyavada, they say that you are unable to understand, you hold on to Kshanika Vijnanavada. But between two Kshanika Chaitanyas, there is Shunya, meaning nothing. There is Shunya is a ridiculous statement, as we saw earlier. There is nothing. That there is nothing is also a ridiculous statement, because is and nothing cannot go together. Abhava, because is what? Asti. Asti is what? Asabhui. And what is Bhu? Bhu dhatu is Bhu Sattayam. So it is like saying Satta meaning Bhava is equal to Abhava. Sat is equal to Asat. Sat and Asat cannot be in Samanadikarani. So Satta Nasti is a ridiculous statement. I am not there is a ridiculous statement. I means am. Am is there means Satta is there. Not there, how can there be Anvaya? Not possible. The language does not have it. Bhagavan has configured it, you can use it, but there is no understanding possible. But Kshanika Vidya or Shunyavadis say we understand. How can you understand? I is there. They missed out the I. Shunya is there means what? I am Shunya means makes no sense. I and Shunya cannot be there. If you have no Shunya, then I is there. And that is separate I. Cannot be Shunya. If you do not know Shunya, then how can you make a claim? So making a claim is Shunyatvam asti. If Shunyatvam asti, then the knower is there. How can it be Shunya then? Knower is separate from Shunya. So you cannot say Shunyatvam asti. If Shunyatvam is there, nothing should be there. That I can't be there. But I is there as witness there. So there is a huge flaw in that. So here the Tippana was 2 and 3. So Pramana Tanniveshu Asyaha Asya Mama Samvidaha Uchchittihi Nasti Nasambhavati Yat Matta Anyad Rupam Abhati Tadhi Kshanabhangi Syat. Everything other than is moment. Me is momentary. I am not momentary. So this is 78th verse. Here, evamiti tannibeshu. What is tannibeshu? Pramana avaseshu. Pramana and tanniba means pramana and pramana avas. Unto that. 79th introduction is over where it's in the next, next to next page. Oh, there is no 79. Oh, we'll see in the next part anyway. So 78th here. Nothing seems to be there in the 79th. Not written also. That 79th is over, 80th is over, whatever. So we'll see in the next part. Yes, साक्षात् सच्चिदानंदं प्रत्यगाद्वयम् अक्रियं तन्नमामि दृश्यस्य योगी गम्यं परम पदम्. नमस्ते, धन्यवाद.